It says it's being recorded, Ryan.
It is being recorded, but you can start the meeting.
Good evening, everyone. We're starting tonight a couple minutes late. Ryan, let's start with the flag salute, and we'll do the provide. You can read the our usual intro after we're done.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag
of the United States
of America
and to the republic
for which it stands,
one nation,
under God,
indivisible, with liberty
and justice
for all.
Okay, so disclaimer, any person or organization not affiliated with the Forest Park Neighborhood Association may not use, copy, alter, or modify DPNA photographs, graphics, videography, or other similar reproductions or recordings without the advance written permission of an authorized designee from DPNA. To use any footage, please email info@deforestpark.org.
Thank you, Ryan, and Commander, you're up.
Dan, we actually need to approve our minutes. We need to follow the agenda.
Well, that would be helpful, wouldn't it? I'll take a motion. Are there any corrections, additions to the minutes of the May 20th meeting? I'll take a motion to approve the minutes.
Reese Williams, approve.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposition? None. Abstentions? None. Okay, Ryan. Now we can go to the North Station.
So, good evening, everyone. I'm Commander Zabel. Very happy to be here, and thank you for letting me join and inviting me to come to the meeting. This is the first time I've been to your meeting, so I'm very happy to introduce myself and meet a lot of you who I have not met before. I have met Dan once. Thank you, Dan, for having me over to your house on that weekend. That was super, super nice and great food, so thank you for that. So I wanted to, thank you. So just introduce myself and let you guys know where we're at right now in North Division and some of the things that we have in place going into summer. Obviously, things are starting to get hot out and schools are letting out. And usually that means it's a busy time for the city, lots of different events and things going on, holidays coming up. COVID restrictions have lifted quite a bit, so people are starting to do things in person a lot more and all those great things. So with that comes some updates from our division and what we're doing for all of those things. So first I'm going to start with our community outreach efforts that we have been doing the last couple of weeks that I'm really excited about. Now that COVID restrictions, a lot have lifted, we really wanted to get back out there into the community and start engaging again the way that we used to. Obviously, it was difficult during the pandemic to be able to do that in order to keep everybody as safe as possible while we were doing our job. And, you know, we weren't able to have as much in-person, intimate contact with our community members. So we are excited and happy to be doing that. The last couple weeks, my team here, our Patrol Resource Officer, you guys know very well, Abe Mercado, as well as Erica Moreno, and a couple of the officers who work the area here have been going to the schools in your area specifically to reach out to the children and elementary school, junior high, and high school, Jordan High, in order to connect with them before they are released for summer. And they did some really good interactive time with the kids, passing out some popsicles and things of that nature. So the students really loved it. The officers loved having that connection with the kids in the community. That was really great. And then we just started our brand new Neighborhood Walks program. Not sure if you guys have heard of that yet, or if you follow our social media, and press releases. I'm sure that you've seen a little bit about that. West Division did that a couple months back, and it was really successful down in the Washington neighborhood. So we're fortunate enough to be the next division to run the program here. And we got a little bit of extra funding to be able to bring in extra officers to do that outreach. And so the whole idea is actually focusing on a smaller area, a concentrated area, where officers go out and basically just walk the neighborhoods and talk to people and interact and make that contact and basically have people get to know the officers who work their area, and also educate them on the different programs that we have available for them here at the police department and within the city, and just talk to them about whatever issues that they may be experiencing, or maybe they're interested in starting a neighborhood watch group or joining a local one that may already be established. So, so far, they've already done a couple walks. They actually just did one a couple hours ago. They were in your neighborhood, Dan, walking around and talking to people. And so, just really trying to get that connection back with the residents and the community there. So we will be doing that for the next couple of months throughout the summer. And yeah, so we'll be out there. Myself, I will also be out there walking on a couple of days, and even Chief Luna next week will be out walking the market corridor, making some contact with anyone that we come across who's willing to talk to us and stop in some of the businesses and things of that nature. So that's our community outreach stuff that we have going on that we're very excited about. So please follow our social media for updates on that. We've been posting a lot of great stuff about that, just to keep you in the loop of everything we're doing. And then I believe Erica is reaching out to you guys and letting you know when we're in your area. So if you want to come out and, talk to us, talk to our officers who are out there, when they're going to be out and about. So next, I wanted to talk about fireworks and 4th of July, because I know that this fireworks specifically is a very hot topic for everybody. I know most people do not like the fireworks that are going on in their neighborhood. I'm with you on that. I hate to hear those fireworks going on every single night leading up to 4th of July. So I wanted to give you guys some information on what we're doing as a department, and then also the efforts that the city is making. So the city this year, we actually started addressing fireworks a lot earlier this year than we have in years past. I think we really wanted to get ahead of it, on top of it, and early this year, and set the tone that fireworks are illegal and they're not going to be tolerated. And as much as we can do about that, we are trying to do. So the city actually put together a task force. So it's collaborative efforts between different departments. So it's the police department, the city prosecutor's office, the city attorney's office, the fire department, and then the city public information office, who's pushing out information about, fireworks are illegal. So we actually started doing a lot of enforcement, and we have been for probably about the last month already, specifically in North Division. Our directed enforcement team, who is led by a really great Sergeant George Ayala, they have been doing a lot of operations, going after the people who are selling illegal fireworks in bulk and selling them in our city. So they've been extremely successful so far. And again, if you follow our social media, the department's Instagram account, they have been posting a lot of the busts of the fireworks that they have been getting out there through these operations. They've already Well, citywide, we've confiscated, I want to say, around 20,000 pounds. That's an approximate number of fireworks. And several thousands of those pounds were confiscated here in North Long Beach. So they're doing great work getting those off the street and making arrests and holding people accountable for doing that. So, so I just wanted to let you guys know that we are really trying to stay on top of that and doing the best we can. You know, obviously, we're not going to be able to stop all of it, unfortunately. I mean, there's just so much of it. But we are really trying to send the message out there that if you do fireworks or bring fireworks into the city or sell fireworks in the city and you get caught, you will be arrested and you will be prosecuted. So, so I just wanted to let you guys know that that's what we're doing with the fireworks. There's several ways to report fireworks. You can call our non-emergency line, and I think you guys all know that number. If you hear fireworks going off, it's really helpful for us if we know where exactly they're coming from. I know it's hard sometimes. It's hard for us to see where they're coming from even, but you know, oftentimes it's a neighbor that's doing them. And if you know a specific house is setting off fireworks in their backyard, please let us know, like, the address of the house, not just the general area, and we can work that location and try to do something with that. If you know a specific address, you can actually email our lbpdnorth at longbeach.gov email address, and if you know a specific house, like nightly, is setting off fireworks, then we can let our directed enforcement team know to, you know, try and do something with that particular location, actually maybe go out there and witness it and take some enforcement action. And then another way you can report if you don't want, some people don't feel comfortable calling the police department for whatever their reasons are, or maybe it's their neighbor and you know, they feel uncomfortable calling the police on their neighbor or whatever the case may be. You can also report directly to the city prosecutor's office. Doug Halbert, he has a fireworks program through his office, and basically you can email, his email site is, email address for fireworks is on his website, and you can tell them, hey, this particular address, my neighbor, they're setting off fireworks, you know, and he will send out a letter basically telling them that, and it's anonymous, but basically telling them, hey, it's been reported that you are setting off fireworks on your property, which is illegal per this section, and you shall cease and desist that action. And if you don't, then you could face prosecution and fines. So, and there's more to that down the line if they continue to do it, but it acts as a really good deterrent as well if they get that type of notice from the city prosecutor's office. So that's another avenue to go through if, for whatever reason, you're not comfortable calling us directly about a particular location. 4th of July, great holiday, always a very busy holiday for us. We want everybody to have a very safe, happy, fun 4th of July. So I wanted to let you all know that we have some very robust plans in place for the 4th of July. It's pretty much going to be all hands on deck. The department every year closes days off for officers, so everybody's working, myself included. I will be here on the 4th as well as most of the command staff. And so I just wanted to let you all know that we will be here in force and available to, you know, make sure that everybody has a safe 4th of July. And that's about all I have as far as what's coming up here soon. Did anybody have any questions for me?
Okay, I don't see anybody with any questions. Thank you, Megan. We appreciate it. Thank you, Commander.
Of course. Happy to be here. Thank you, everyone. Looking forward to hopefully meeting everyone in person soon.
Well, we'll have to have another get together now that the COVID is relaxing a little bit.
Yes, yes. Please let me know.
You'll be the star attraction.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, I don't see anybody from the 9th district yet. Oh, there you are, Jonathan. Boy, that was on cue.
Yeah, good timing, right?
Yeah, it's perfect timing.
Great. Well, yeah, hello everybody. This is Jonathan with Vice Mayor Rex Richardson's office. Just to start off with some city updates. We are celebrating Juneteenth as a holiday here in the city of Long Beach. So it looks like most city departments will actually not be operating on Monday. So if there's anything you need, city related, just plan accordingly. Looks like most city departments will be shut down. I see the question for trash. I don't believe trash would be one of those departments. I believe you should receive trash services on Monday. I know that it's trash day in our district, so we should have full services that day. In addition to celebrating, we're also celebrating I guess reopening of the state, so to speak. The governor announced that yes, on Tuesday, things were to be just reopened at full capacity. I believe mask mandates were no longer going to be required. However, I think it's also important to note that businesses and other local municipalities reserve the right to continue enforcing as they see fit, and will continue to do so. So for example, at City Hall, all city employees are still required to wear masks at their workstation. And it's important to note that when planning to visit City Hall. We also had our first city council meeting in person in over a year. Council members were required to wear masks, and they were still separated by the plexiglass, but we're going to continue practicing safety measures and social distancing until we're told otherwise. It also looks like we are set to have our first city council meeting with community members joining us starting July 6th. So I believe the city will be releasing a memo just with more details on how we're going to go about that process. But if you were curious about how City Hall looks, I know folks didn't really get a chance to really see City Hall, I guess, since we opened back in August. We were open for a short time, and then COVID happened. So, if you're interested in checking out the chambers, please come on down to City Hall. It'd be great to have you. If you coordinate with our office, we'd be more than happy to organize a tour of the 11th floor. And it'd be good to have some District 9 residents down there too. So that's what's happening at the citywide level. District-wide, it looks like we are actually doing something for Juneteenth on Saturday over at Uptown Commons, starting at 6 o'clock. So if you'd like to join us for that, we'll have music. We'll have just a large group of folks just having fun and celebrating the Juneteenth holiday. The vice mayor will be there, so feel free to drop by and say hi. And then moving on down to local DeForest Park items. I see Georgia is here, so I don't want to take up too much of her thunder, but we are pretty excited to see that, with the reopenings, we're having more and more activities just taking place. And one of those that we're very excited about is the campfire program over at DeForest Park. In addition to that, I know one of the big issues that Georgia and I have been talking about is actually Wi-Fi access over at the DeForest Park Community Center. So I am working with Parks and Rec to see if we can get that fixed. I know this would also be of great benefit to the DeForest Park Neighborhood Association. When we do begin to convene in person again, I think it'd be great to have Wi-Fi at the facility for you all to benefit from. So I am working on getting that fixed, and I will keep you all updated on what that looks like. So that's really it on my report. Are there any questions?
Yeah, just some of the things that were carryovers from last meeting.
Yes.
The possibility of a roundabout at South and Dairy. Anything on
Yeah.
that yet?
So I did submit the request. It looks like we are looking at a 4 to 6 week backlog, so I have not heard any updates on that.
Okay, so next meeting maybe?
Yes.
I'm giving you a heads up.
Yeah,
'Cause
I
we'll ask
appreciate it.
again. Okay, and for those of you who do not know, we do have the head of Parks and Rec who left his address, which is dnaf at cclb dash. Oh, that's
Conservation Corps.
That's the Conservation Corps. Anyway, they're
That's right.
going to be responsible for the wetlands. So that's our contact right there. And without any further ado, I guess that's it for you, Jonathan. Any other questions? Okay.
All right, thank you for
Georgia,
having
would
me.
you like to say something?
Dan, were you calling on me? I wasn't sure.
Yes, ma'am.
You have to unmute, Georgia.
Sorry, I thought I had. So thank you, Jonathan, for working on that. We appreciate it, and if that can happen, that would be so great. But what I also wanted to say is thank you to the neighborhood for showing up last Saturday for the blood drive. We did our blood drive, our first blood drive in DeForest Park last Saturday. It went from about 9 until about 3, and it was a smaller group for a first time, but not dissimilar to the first time we did it over on Carson. So most of these things kind of take over a little bit of energy over time. But what we were really happy about is we had distributed flyers in the neighborhood in the weeks before, and a lot of people told us that that's how they'd heard about it. And it was just great. It was very friendly and very fun. And so thanks very much to the neighborhood for giving good support for that. That's my report for now. Oh, we're starting day camp next week. So don't, if you know anybody who's still interested in the day camp experience, please have them go to our website, www.campfirelb.org. And I think I see it, Ryan, thank you. I've seen it on the website here for the DeForest Park Neighborhood Association. So thanks for everybody for that support as well. That's my report. Happy to answer questions.
Thank you, Georgia.
Thank you,
Any
Dan.
question? Okay, question? Okay. I'm looking for a question here. I guess not. Okay, thanks, Georgia. And I don't see, I see Manny.
But do you want to do your old business and new business?
Yeah, I guess, well, we don't really, 5811 Locust, we can pass that along to the police as far as things. It's kind of quieted down over there. So I'm not sure if they got the message last couple of weeks ago with the M80s.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll run that past the commander. That was the other one. And we already did the runabout. And that doesn't look like I have any other new business.
The new business, this may be our last Zoom meeting if we can get the clubhouse to start meeting in person again.
Yes.
I'm crossing my fingers.
The other thing too for new business, and I know I didn't write it out, is we may, I haven't heard anything from the library still. So we may still be able to do, if you want, we can do an outdoor chili cook-off. We can do it at the Parkway. That will more than hold 100 people, and it would put it back in the neighborhood. Over here, we have electricity from my house, so we can do that. So we'll have to discuss that at our next board meeting, so keep that in mind. And I don't see anything else. You have anything else, Ryan? Okay. Okay, the next person up would be Mike Gipson's office. So it looks like I think Manny. There you go.
Yeah. So the assembly member should be logging on very shortly. He just gave me a call. So
Oh boy.
he will be logging on shortly. He apologizes for
Okay.
his tardiness.
Oh, that's okay. Just because he has 90,000 other people to worry about. No, we're lucky. We're very lucky to have him, and so we will. Anything that you want to do to help him out or inform us on that he might want to be, you might want to be letting us know about before he gets there. Oh. Manny?
Did he log on? Oh, I thought I saw his name. My apologies.
I saw him and then I spotlighted him, but there we go.
Oh,
There he is. He has my name.
I can rename you.
Okay. So star 6, assembly member.
Can you hear me okay?
Ooh. Yep, we got you.
Wonderful. Wonderful. I'm excited to be here. So should I be talking or?
Yes, we're on your turn, sir.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. First of all, let me say thank you very much, everyone, for allowing me to be part of your agenda today. We hope and pray that everyone is remaining healthy and also safe. I don't need this background. You can, the host can remove that. That'd be great so I can see everyone who's on. Again, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity. I'm multitasking. I'm at a conference right now and I'm here. But I appreciate the moments and the time that you guys are giving me to come in and zoom in and just bring a legislative updates to the board, to everyone. Thank you very, very much. It's exciting, one, because we're out and able to see people now, right? After the 15th of June, the governor has lifted a lot of restrictions. We have turned the corner. We've come out of this pandemic. Hopefully that you guys and everybody in your family has been inoculated and also safe. I know this time has been absolutely devastating for me and my family and friends, losing loved ones. Just buried a great leader in Los Angeles, praise and worship leader for my church. I'm his son's godfather. Just laid him to rest. So this has been a tough time. Many of you know that I chair the Assembly Democratic Caucus. Many of you may or may not know that I also chair the Select Committee on Police Reform. We are absolutely reimagining what law enforcement looks like in this state of California. The people, the voters, the residents, the constituents of California, the Californians are demanding that we change and reimagine what law enforcement looks like in the state of California, and we're doing that work. As the chair of the Select Committee on Police Reform, I oversaw 6 hearings of my committee. We brought people from all over the world through Zoom, talking about police reform. What does that look like? We've had great authoritative experts. Professor Shimmerisky joined in from Berkeley Law School, and just so many others. I don't want to do anyone a disservice by not acknowledging their names, but I carried the George Floyd bill in the state of California, which is landmark legislation that banned that prohibits law enforcement from using the carotid artery restraints and chokeholds when it comes down to restraining suspects. So that bill was an answer to the people saying, we want change now. And so as soon as I introduced it, the governor at his 12 o'clock noon press conference said, I need Assemblymember Gipson's bill on my desk and I will sign that bill into law. And he's been a man of his word. He signed that bill into law. That bill went into effect on January the 1st, 2021. Well, the gentleman you see behind me, his name is Angelo Quinto. He served this country as a United States veteran in the United States Navy. He was 30 years old. He came back home after doing a complete tour of duty, Darlene, and he had a lot of our military personnel have trauma, PSD. He had a mental episode at home. His sister called 911 to get the police to come to de-escalate the situation. And let me say, they did everything but Dan. They had restrained him. They had restrained Angelo Quinto. They already had him where he posed no threat to himself or to others. They laid on his neck with the knee. They cut the blood, the oxygen to the brain that led to Angelo becoming unconscious, and Angelo died 4 days later. 4 days before 1196 went into law, which was banning that same technique that that officer used. I'm sorry, let me back up. When that officer got tired, another officer relieved him by placing his knee on his neck, and it was for 5 minutes for one person, and there was longer time for another person. We know that George Floyd, the knee was on his neck for 9 minutes and 28 seconds, and George Floyd said, I can't breathe for 28 times. We counted the times that George Floyd said that. Angelo Quinto said, please don't kill me. Please don't kill me. He said that twice. And then he fell unconscious. And then they said, you see, this is what happens. This is the reason why we use this method, because it calms them down. Well, what the police officer of Antioch didn't realize, that Angelo was brain dead. He was brain dead, Ryan, as a result of that method being used. So I authored another bill that has passed the state assembly, which is Assembly Bill 490. 490, I've named it the Angelo Quinto Act of 2021. That will prohibit law enforcement officers in the state of California from using any method that cuts someone's ability to breathe. I'll just say something for a moment. If law enforcement restrains you, therefore you don't pose a threat. They should not be cutting off your ability to breathe. When someone cuts your ability to breathe off, that is using a lethal weapon. This bill 490 will prohibit any law enforcement officer in the state of California from using any kind of methods that cut someone's breathing or ability to breathe off. That bill is now in the Senate. That bill is being scheduled for July to be heard by the Senate Public Safety Committee. This bill in the Assembly passed by 67 votes. All it needed was 41 votes. And let me simply say that we will have the votes in the Senate, and the governor will sign this bill into law. And so that is my part. But as a result of me being the chair of the Select Committee on Police Reform, 22 pieces of legislation is now moving through the legislative process, both in the Senate and Assembly, that my committee talked about, touched about, and exposed. So we're going to reimagine what law enforcement looks like in the state of California moving forward. In addition to that, we have also been able to continue to work with stakeholders around police reform bills. Senator Steve Bradford has a bill dealing with decertification. If you can remove a lawyer's license and disbar him or her from practicing who have used malpractice in terms of administering law and taking their license away, why shouldn't you be able to be for a police officer? If you can take a teacher's license away and decertify a teacher or decertify any kind of healthcare professional, why shouldn't we be able to remove and take away a police officer's license away from him or her if they have violated certain laws. So that bill will deal with decertification. And once we decertify you, you will never be able to be a police officer in the state of California ever again. We realize also that other states have job announcement asking for, if you've ever been fired from any police officer, any police department in the state of California, please apply. They want police officers who've been fired to come and work for them in their states. I think that's a travesty. And so we continue to work in this space. I have also, I'm carrying a bill dealing with police officer gangs. Whether you believe it or not, there are police officer gangs, just like there's Crips and Bloods. There are police officer gang. There's one police officer who exposed the turmoil, the targeting, the bullying that he went through for 5 years. Till he said enough is enough. He exposed the LA County sheriffs for having a police officer gang. And we understand that in order to be a part of that, in order for you to be initiated, you have to abuse someone. You have to use not only excessive force, but also deadly force in order to be part of a gang. The same as you would have to do in order for you to be part of the Crips and the Bloods. Well, there's an initiation you have to go through in order to be courted into that gang. Well, it's the same mindset as police officers. And so my bill 958 will prohibit and eradicate police officer gangs that's in police departments throughout the state of California. I'm also carrying a bill, Assembly Bill 520, that deals with creating more opportunity for male teachers of color to go in the classroom. We want to promote. There was a study from Loyola and also from Chicago University that simply says if you place a child or put a male teacher of color, then not only you create a role model for that student, but also that student will likely grow up to become a teacher as well. There are 10% in education in California that are male teachers. 1 to 2% are male teachers of color. But when you look at the population of students, there are 75% of California students are students of color. So we want to create this opportunity. This bill is being sponsored by the Superintendent of Public Instruction, Tony Thurman. It passed the Assembly, and now it's in the Senate. It's targeted for the Senate Education Committee. And we also asking for $15 million in the state budget for this to go into, so that there is funding that will help promote and help also retain male teachers of color in our schools. The governor just put $7 billion into broadband services. You may not believe this. There are some people in California who are not connected, who don't have the ability to be connected, who live in public subsidized housing, that because of the center blocks, they have no ability to have a signal getting into those blocks, into that house. So I've authored Assembly Bill 1425. The governor took my points out of my bill and applied it to his May revise that he put $7 billion into the budget to make sure that every Californian is connected to broadband service by 2025 or sooner. So I'm extremely excited about that. Many of you know I was with, and let me tell you, many of you know that I also wrote the letter in support, because I've heard your voices. We want to name a park after Dan Pressburg because we believe that he deserved it. And so I'm excited about the potential because he has been a drum major for justice. He has been in the Long Beach community for so many years, and I can't think of a better way of not only thanking him, but also highlighting his accomplishments and telling people, so people can know his story, than to name a park that's well-deserved after him. And also, I was with Star King Neighborhood Association on Saturday. We did a cleanup, but we also gave them an award for being a star, for being a great association in the Long Beach area, continue to provide great services and organize the community. We did a community cleanup that went very, very well on Saturday. And so I simply say to you guys that if you are having something, we want to be a part of it. If it's in person, we want to be part of it. We invite you to go look at some of the bills. Assembly Bill 1254 dealing with mobile stroke units that I'm authoring. Assembly Bill 342 dealing with colonoscopy colorectal cancer screening, removing the barrier so you don't have to pay $1,400 to get a second opinion so that you can find out whether or not you have colon cancer. And then this is a cancer that is preventable and treatable if it's detected early. And so we want people to live a long, prosperous life. And we also invite you to look at Assembly Bill 1038. $200 million is good, as we've asked for to fund this. We need to fund our clinics. This making sure that we promote clinics in our community, because what this epidemic produce and expose is the health disparities. And we know if we arm our clinics where people can go to and that they can receive services, it's empowering and closing the health gap in our community. So I'm carrying a number of bills. I am also carrying a number of bills that it's in the budget, and we're hoping, we are aggregating all my budget asks together, and it totals $500 million that I'm offering. Again, the governor did broadband $7 billion, but I was asking for $200 million that will go ongoing. But he's taking points out of my bills, I indicated, and just putting $7 billion. So that's a victory for us. But I've offered about $500 million to come to my district, because my district is worth fighting for. And we continue to fight each and every day to making sure. And we just passed the state budget on Monday. There's still trailer bills that we have in order to get in bills and get in money. The Golden State stimulus package, we have to put businesses back to business. Small businesses are going to be taken care of in a very serious way. We've made sure that our homeless brothers and sisters, in terms around housing, is taken care of. We made this our priority. Our budget should reflect not only our moral values, but also our priorities. And so we're doing that. We also want to make sure that people who are at the brink of losing their home keep their homes. And so we have bills 1199 that will deal with that to help disincentivize these investment companies. Do you realize, or you may not, that 70% of Compton is owned by an investment companies? One investment company named Blackstone, just within the last 30 days, purchased, get what I'm saying, they bought 6,000 homes in California at one time. So what happens to your children if they want to buy a home in Long Beach? Well, they're going to be priced out of the market. They won't be able to afford a home in Long Beach because these investment companies are coming in, buying up. So therefore, there is no generational wealth that's being passed down to your children because they can't afford to buy and you can't afford to sell. And so it creates gentrification and a whole bunch of other different things in our community. So we're absolutely fixated and doing everything that we can when it comes down to it. We're doing some stuff in the environment. We continue to hold vaccine locations. We just had one last Saturday in Wilmington. We're going to have one at 93rd Street Elementary School, my old alma mater, this weekend. And then we're going to find other locations that we can partner. So we would love to partner with you guys to host a vaccine for your entire community. We need 50 or more signups, and then we can have a mobile van come to wherever you want and we can sign up. But Long Beach have their own health department. So you guys are probably doing these kind of work yourselves, but there are other communities that are not. So let me simply stop there and just ask you and invite you to go to my website, www.asm.ca.gov/ my last name, Gipson, G-I, P as in Paul, S-O-N, and check out some of the things that I've been doing. I've been going to Sacramento on your behalf, fighting for you. And we believe that my bill package reflects that. My budget ask reflects what you asked me to do when I go to Sacramento, and we believe we're doing that. And so we're very grateful for this time, and we want to pause now to answer any questions you may have with the short time that I have with you today. So thank you very much. Any questions?
So do we have any questions? Any questions for the assembly member?
I think we have some questions in the chat.
Oh,
Lori, do you want to read it or do you want to ask your question?
You can read it.
Okay. So the question is, What are your concerns on the numerous housing bills that do not include any requirement for affordable housing, eliminate local control, and allow lot splitting and up to 13 units per lot? These bills will destroy our neighborhoods.
Well, because I came from City Carson, I was on City Council for almost 10 years. I sternly believe in local control. And so we support cities by way of giving resources and things of that nature. But I believe it's a local control decision that you as residents can weigh in what you believe is best. Now, I realize at the same time that to create more housing, where you have 26 homes on one block, right? And to create additional housing, that's going to lead to parking issues. It's going to lead to a number of other different issues. But I simply say this, that the city council and the residents who has a strong voice and an investment in what goes on, voices should be heard in this space. And so it's my responsibility to give the tools and the resources from the state so that the cities can make the best decision along with the residents, what's best for them when it comes down to housing. But understand this, whatever decision is being made, we have to deal with the homeless issue because everyone says, we want you to deal with this homeless issue, but no one wants you to build housing in their community. Now, I had a great opportunity. Manny, I don't know the name of, so I need you to help me. I had a great opportunity to visit right there on, right by my church off of Atlantic. There's housing that used to be a liquor store right there, a meat market. They converted it. It's right there on Atlantic, right before we get to 91 freeway.
Atlantic Bridge Housing.
Along Atlantic Bridge Housing. Beautiful. They got a great program going there, right? Rex Richardson was there, whether people support it or not. We have to do something to making sure that we address the homeless crisis that we have, because this pandemic has further disenfranchising people, and people are losing their homes, losing the roof over their heads, and they have to go somewhere instead of laying and staying on our streets. No one wants to see that. So when you look at what Atlantic Bridge Housing has done, that's an incredible work. And they're doing a great job where people can come in and get wraparound services and get into permanent housing. I support those kinds of things in our community. So hopefully that answers your question about local control.
Okay, any more questions?
Follow-up question, how are you going to protect our neighborhoods from even over development?
How am I going to, well, I mean, it's just when it comes down, the city has the authority in this area when it comes down to development. When I was on the city council, I fought the state against taking away redevelopment. Because again, that we in the city of Carson did absolutely what state asked us to do with our redevelopment money. We created opportunity, businesses and housing. A lot of the boom that you see that's going on Avalon and Carson Street, I was a part of that, right? And so that's why I believe in local control. And so the state should not be coming in and telling you what you should be doing. And that's the reason why the cities exist. And you as a resident, go to your city council member, because you have districts, and express your concern. We had in the city of Los Angeles, one of the neighborhood council voted not to have certain housing. And that recommendation went forward. That council did not build that housing in that community because the voters, because of the people that's on the neighborhood council, said, we don't want this in the community. And it stood. It took. And so I'm simply saying that on the local level, that's the job of the city council members and the mayor to hear the voices and to be connected to the constituents. Now, certainly if you don't have that, then that's an issue. But the state can't come in and overrule a city council. We can't come in and overrule a development project. That's not the state's role and responsibility.
Okay. Any more, Ryan? I don't see any more.
I don't see any follow-up.
Nope. I
Well,
sure don't.
well, let me say thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to greet you. Manny is there when I'm not, so please don't hesitate to reach out to Manny Nieto, who's there. Who you guys know him. He's been there in the Long Beach community. Many of you know my church is in the city in Long Beach, and I'm in Long Beach and can't wait for our church. We just opened up Sunday, so it was our first time going back into our church, and so Long Beach is special to me. And so I represent that community and want to make sure that, one, we provide the resources and the support that you guys absolutely need. So please don't hesitate to reach out to me. We want to be there. We will also want to invite you to be part of some of the things that we're doing, whether it comes down to vaccinate. We're doing a lot, even when it comes down to food giveaways. Every time I'm home, we are engaged in food distribution. There are people who are absolutely hungry, and just one day is just not enough. And so we try to feed people, whether it's myself and Brad Pitt on Fridays over Imperial Courts and Nickerson giving away food to 800 residents at 8 o'clock in the morning, whether it's me and Martha Barajas over in Compton doing food giveaways Wednesday through Saturday. We're doing this kind of work on a daily basis. And I'm working for you in Sacramento. So we hope that you continue to reach out for services. If you have an EDD problem, please don't hesitate. My office have more additional help, EDD workers, to handle the amount of overwhelming backlog, because we want to make sure that people get their benefits so that they can get back on their feet and turn the corner. Any state services, we want to hear from you. We want to be a part of that trajectory. So thank you very much.
So Mike, one last thing. December 5th is the Christmas party, no tie.
I'll be there, Dan. I'll be there.
Okay,
you can count on it.
And one last thing.
Yes,
I know you'll probably be down here, hopefully in August. Maybe we can put together a meet and greet, brunch, barbecue in the backyard over here. Bring out some of the community. So yeah, well, I'll talk to Manny. We'll put it together. DeForest and some of the other people so they can meet you personally.
Well, I absolutely would love that. And please don't hesitate to reach out to us. This is what we're here for. This is my job. You didn't send me to Sacramento to twiddle my thumbs. And I think my record speaks for itself. We've been on the front line. As a matter of fact, the governor and I was together on the other day, which was Wednesday at Martin Luther King Hospital. We were there thanking the healthcare workers for being on the front line. I got $10 million for Martin Luther King Hospital. And so we are doing what I believe that you have sent me to Sacramento to do, and want to continue to do that work. So thank you very much, and God bless you. Stay safe, family.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
So this is the point of our meeting where we open it up to any non-agenda items for up to 3 minutes. I know it doesn't sound like a long period of time, but it is a long period of time. The DeForest Park Association is a 501c3, and that's why we allow this time at the end of every meeting. Each speaker receives no more than 3 minutes. Please raise your hand, or, well, I'm not seeing anybody's hands up. So speak up if you'd like to speak. You've got 3 minutes, and then we will ask for the meeting to be adjourned. So do we have any speakers? Wow. I'm surprised.
Georgia.
Georgia, go ahead.
I want to correct something I said earlier in case it was misunderstood. We did distribute flyers for that blood drive in the neighborhood, but that was not done by our after-school kids. That was done by our teenagers who came over as part of their service project to do that. So if anybody worried that we were putting all of our after-school kids to work for us in that way, we were not. That was a teenage project. So just to clarify that.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Reese, I make a motion, we adjourn.
Second it.
Okay, we are adjourned. Thank you, guys. Reese, thank you very much. Thanks everyone for attending. Mike Gipson, thank you so much. We appreciate you coming out. This is a great meeting. Thank you.